No, Byron, let's address the elephant in the room. There's a lot of frustration between the Street Profits and B-Fab. Earlier this year, we joined forces with another member, and they decided to go and do their own plans. And so it left the Street Profits and B-Fab to kind of pick up the scraps and find ourselves all over again. All in the midst of that drought, losing ourselves. Because at once we knew who we were, and then we lost who we were, and at the same time, we still don't even know who we are at the same time, at this moment right now. 4 years, a drought. No WWE Tag Team Championships, not in the conversation of everybody. And for us to walk around and happy and still putting smiles on everybody's faces, walk around like everything is okay when everything is not okay, Byron. Next week, it changes. We stamp ourselves. Once again, we put ourselves in every single conversation. Every single one. That's on everything. That's on mama. That's on the hood. That's on the world. On God. We taking on the code. That's how confident we are right now. That's how serious we are right now. Next week is WWE Tag Team Championships or bust. That's it. There's no other option. There's no plan B. Plan A. That's it.
Salute to Montez. An absolutely incredible, scathing promo from Montez Ford, and it's what BC has said from the jump. It is what I have preached from day one in regards to Montez Ford. It's not just the talent you see in the ring with Montez. It's not just his skill. He can rock the microphone second to very few, if any. He's got the look. He can put storylines on his back. He can skyrocket any material you give this dude. He damn near checks off every box that it takes to be a legit bona fide superstar in the industry. So it's befuddling for a lot in those walls of WWE or any talent or suit and tie that is associated within the industry, and especially for fans. It is absolutely mind-boggling. It is dumbfounding how you can botch somebody like Montez, how somebody like Montez can be in that company for nearly 9 years, correct? 2015 maybe is when he joined up with NXT, been on the main roster for many years, and you don't really have any storylines that are memorable with the Profits. You can't remember their title reigns, right? They were absolutely meaningless, sadly irrelevant. So you look at Montez and you think, how can he be frustrated? How can it get to a point where he's in this interview last week? And that's what started all of this, by the way. This interview that Montez did last week, kayfabe to the side, and he was just being real, right? It's frustrating right now. We're at a frustrating place. New faces are constantly coming in like Motor City. They're chucking gold on them, and we're not even being talked about, right? That's what Montez said in this interview. Very real, right? And there were some fans and people that were going, well, it's just kayfabe. It's just in storyline. No, that's very real emotion. If you think Montez is just showing up for a paycheck, then you obviously haven't been following what Montez is all about. Montez wants to leave his stamp, his legacy on the industry, inside of WWE more specifically. And to be there damn near 10 years and not have anything of substance for anybody to talk about, be forgotten about. That doesn't suit well with people like Montez. Much respect, much love to Dolph Ziggler, but he's a dude that was showing up for the paycheck. He just was, right? He had all these other side endeavors. He was tapping into his comedy, his one-man shows. Of course, he would have liked to have been booked better, maybe hold some championships, but he wasn't raising a stink about it. He wasn't talking about how frustrated he was. He was sitting like a good soldier at catering, eating that triple-layered moose cake, and when his number was called, he was going to go to work. But Dolph and many like Dolph were showing up for the paycheck, and it's a good paycheck. And if you don't want to ruffle feathers, that's fine. Montez is there more than just the money, man. It's about that legacy. It is about knowing that he's got the talent, and the powers that be don't even want to give him the chance, the opportunity to showcase it. It's frustrating. So Tez gives this interview, and several times in this interview, he's talking about frustration and being frustrated and being overlooked and forgotten about. Not even in conversations when people talk pro wrestling, you're not even thinking about the Street Profits. This led Dawkins to go on his social and kind of respond, because a lot of people were saying it's Montez's time to split up from Dawkins. Even BC was thinking it's Tez's time to shine individually, while everybody's saying, oh, Mello should be getting this, Mello should be getting that. You forgot about Montez, who hasn't even sniffed any singles championships or relevant storylines in the single realm. And you're already on to the next. So a lot of people were like, maybe it's time to split him up. Let Tez go. But Dawkins jumped on the social and he said, and I quote, Dawkins says, tired of the disrespect. A lot of people just saying it's time for Montez. Dawkins, it's sink or swim. He'll be fine. Tired of the disrespect. So Tez responded to that on his social, and Tez says, and I quote, no matter what may come, we do this together, my brother. Forever, Street Profits. So he is saying we are not splitting up. I'm not going out on my own. I'm not doing this without you. This goes with reports that Tez was offered a singles run, but turned it down because he didn't want to split away from Dawkins. We cannot confirm that, but that is word out there. This would kind of coincide with such. Right? If he is staying true to Dawkins like that, then we won't know what Tez can do on his own, because he just wants to be a tag team. And that's a shame. You got to respect the dude's wishes and what he wants, no question. But that's a shame, because Tez is too good. And as much as you didn't want to see the Rockers, Marty Jannetty and Shawn Michaels, break up because they were so good, you knew you had to see Shawn on his own and Marty on his own. Marty would have been fantastic, by the way, if it weren't for issues outside of pro wrestling, outside of the ring. Marty kind of became a kind of his own worst enemy. But Marty would have been something special as well. So Dawkins, nobody's saying that the dude's just going to sink. He's probably going to swim just fine. But it looks like Tez is in no hurry, or just will not separate from Dawkins. So now you're left in this situation where it's tag team title or bust, because the frustrations have reached a boiling point, right? There's nowhere else to if you're the Street Profits, there's no other way, as he said in this scathing promo, Tez, right? This is it. There's no plan B. There's only A. This is it. We are beyond disrespected. We're beyond forgotten about. And we're beyond frustrated to the point where this is it. It's title victory this Friday, or that's it. What does that mean? That's where the interesting convo happens, right? Because now there's only three things that can happen. There's only three ways that this can go. Profits win the championships, in which case, right from the jump, you're going to think, wow, Motor City was just transitional, first of all. Are we going to play hot potato here and DIY's getting it in a month? Do Motor City get it right back at a PLE? Which would be wishful thinking, because Hunter doesn't put his tag team titles on PLEs anymore. Usually they're defended on the Monday Night Raw after a PLE or a SmackDown before a PLE. But they're not even prestigious or relevant enough, those titles, to be on a PLE, according to Hunter Hearst Helmsley. But is it transitional? Is it a hot potato situation? Motor City just got it a couple weeks ago, and they're already going to give it to Profits. So that's not going to sit well with many. As much as you know the Profits have more than earned it, why did Motor City have it? Just take it from Bloodline to But it's tag team championship victory or bust is what Tez is saying. So they have to win it, or Tez looks like an absolute fool. Or the second option is that they do lose, and that was bust, and Tez and Dawkins absolutely annihilate Motor City to the point where if the match is 15 minutes, you need to dedicate another 10 to 15 just on the post-match beating if you're truly going to repackage the Street Profits to be diabolical heels. Because with Bob Lashley, they were not. Hunter didn't know what to do when he put them all together. So if you're going to turn them heel, it would have to be 100 times plus better than what you attempted to do the first time. And would anybody care to see the Profits once again, right? Bust means just Profits turning heel again and entering a feud with Motor City for the next month or two. Is that good enough for the fans? Is that good enough for the Profits? Or does bust mean Tez is separating from Dawkins? There's been no teases at all of that dissension or tension. No arguments, no disagreements. They're in lockstep, and out of nowhere, Tez just snaps on Dawkins. Possible, because the long, slow burn right now is with Xavier and Kofi and their breakup. But because of that breakup, and they're dedicating a whole Raw to a New Day 10-year anniversary, because of that, would you have Profits break up too? Is that too much in too little of time? It's the conversation. What could bust possibly mean? It's tag team title victory or bust. If you win the championships, you nailed it. If it's a bust, then you're breaking up, or some think option 3, they're leaving WWE. That is a huge, huge talking point right now in the community. Profits are on their way out. Now, we are hearing they signed their deal in 2019, a 5-year deal with WWE, main roster status. That would end now, 2024. So it is a very real possibility that you could see the Profits taking off from WWE. If it is indeed a 5-year deal, and it was signed in 2019, absolutely. And Tez is frustrated, and he is now talking about it, not just in storyline, not just in a promo like you heard at the top of this upload, but if he is actually pissed off, and Hunter does not have anything for him, possibly. It's a possibility if all those things are true, then bust means they're just leaving. They're gone. And this is their last matchup. End it with a tag title match, and they lose to Hunter's new toys, Motor City. So, championship or bust. You either win the titles, or you break up, or you leave. Or again, that second option could be tied to you don't break up, you just become a real diabolical tag team, and you absolutely destroy Motor City to the point where they're being stretchered out. Again, 100+ times better than what you saw happen to Randy Orton on Monday. It's got to be a beating for the ages. And now you just can't look away. Profits are for real. I don't know if that's going to be enough, though. We've already seen them be just a half-assed bad tag team, heel tag team recently. But no matter what, if they stay together or if Tez goes off on his own, Tez needs to be booked more properly. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to realize Montez has all the attributes, everything needed to be next level. There's no reason he should be mid, and there's no reason he should be forgotten about, and there's definitely no reason he should be irrelevant in this company or any company. And that's part of a bigger issue, obviously, right? For BC, and I know many of you guys, absolutely tired, nauseated by the way that the E books their black male talent, especially in the tag teams. We get it, right? You're the life-loving, fun-vibing, dancing duo from Crime Time to Prime Time Players to the Street Profits. We get it, right? Whether it's Vince or Hunter, they want you to see, look at the circus is in town. Dance. Red cups are going to fall on your dome piece. You guys dance around. Entertain us. Singly, I don't know if it's much better, right? You got R-Truth playing the dumb guy for 20 years. And when you get somebody serious like Bob Lashley, Hunter doesn't know what to do with him. Vince barely knew what to do. Hunter absolutely was lost. Hunter's like, I got a big dude. He's serious. He's got the perfect mouthpiece. Aside from Paul Heyman, he's got MVP. I can't screw this up. I just don't know what to do with him. I don't want to do anything with him. we're just going to let your contract lapse, and can you leave the company, please? You have a lot of what is needed to be a real superstar, next level, and I can't have that. Because how do you explain botching Bob Lashley? I understand he's not the best on the mic. That's what you had MVP for. Bob Lashley can do everything else. you just got to give him good booking. You have the magic pen, you get creative, and you book him properly. It's not moving mountains, guys. It's Bob Lashley and MVP. You can't screw that up. You have Montez Ford in your company. You can't screw him up. Whether with or without a Dawkins, you can't screw that up, you would think. For the black female talent, maybe it's a little better, right? There's still a question mark. Verdict is still out on that. Vince was really high on Bianca, more so anyway. H, it looked like, was willing to keep some of that momentum going. It looked like he was high on Jade when she came in. Then he got bored, chucked them together, and just had them doing useless BS for the last several months, right? Win the titles, lose them because you're in Scotland to Alba and Isla, win them back a month later, have these weird matchups, win, lose, but more than anything, just be irrelevant. When it's time to break up or separate, I'll let you guys know. I don't know how that's much better. But you can't keep doing this revolving, just this vicious cycle. Montez is a bona fide star. It's time to treat him as such, whether that's a tag team or not. That means booking, not just throwing titles on them either. Friday, if they win the titles, that's half the battle. You have to book them, put them in storylines we care about, we get excited about. They're the talk of the shows. When I do the Raw reviews or a SmackDown review, if I come across a Street Profit match, the first thing I'm thinking is, let's just get this done with, because I know it's not fun to talk about. And I know most fans don't want to talk about it, because they're never in anything fun. That's got to change. Montez is too damn good with that, or for that. So this scathing promo, the gauntlet has been laid down. The demand is championship or bust. What started out as real frustration and still is behind the scenes, they're going to turn this into the storyline that it should be turned into. And whether behind the scenes or up front in a story, Montez is telling Hunter Hearst Helmsley and WWE in the world, it's championship now or bust. Enough of the disrespect, as Dawkins said. Enough being frustrated, as Tez said. It's championship or bust. How did they do this? Motor City just got the titles. This is going to be a very interesting tag title match because of the booking and what Hunter decides to do. That's what I got for you guys, man. Tez! It could be his time, man. I love that promo. That's just a piece, as Macho Man used to say. That's just a piece, Elizabeth. Yeah. Mean Gene, that's a piece of what I can do. That's just a piece of what Montez can do. And if they let this guy rock like that, there's no reason that should be like a WWE.com or Tez should have that on social. That should be on the TV shows, those type of promos. That's what these shows are lacking. So maybe, just maybe, more Tez and less of the mid-AF talent that are paraded out there, because Hunter thinks that's the way to go. Tez is clearly one of the ways, tried and true, that you can go and actually reap profit from it. Reap profit from it. But that's what I got for you guys. Until next time, and there will be that next time, BC in the unit saying check.